Hello, everyone. Hello. Just jumping straight in. Welcome to the Sunday afternoon stream. I should be joined by my co-hosts presently. All right. You may recall, I did not end out this way. Stream? Reason why I did not end here on the last stream is because I've been working in the interim. So last week, some of you Lady and I set up a natural gas outpost over here. We have a train carrying the gas from the outpost over here to drop-off point, which is currently only powering one blender, has been making these fused frames. So up here, up this train platform, I will show you really quickly. This is our buffer station for the natural gas, or for the natural gas, nitrogen. And it feeds into this fused modular frame. You need some need these things for the milestone that I'm more than slightly worried though about steel. Little of it appears to be available, so thinly spread out. Steel. Oh yeah, we got plenty. Crisis averted there. I'm afraid we won't. Alright. Needed that milestone, but I'll wait for the others to get on. We can enjoy it all together. Meantime, I want to take a look at the steel production. Last I knew, getting stretched pretty darn thin. This all seems actual steel ingot production itself be getting stretched pretty impressive amount of steel. It's just gonna multi. steel being steel out. See how the steel production is. For a nice jog. Oh, hello? Lord? No companions in Discord yet. It's fine. Come back! No! Nearly at the steel base now. That might have been the ones for...
Ah, I find myself in a box.
Oh, yes. That's a present from Lady.
Alright. Well, can't say it wasn't deserved.
Yeah. So you weren't here last week. She decided to, leave you as a... make you a present. And by make you a present, I mean make you the present.
I
Stick
see.
you in a box.
Yeah, I was in, we were off, unfortunately, dealing with someone else's mess that didn't get cleaned up, so.
It's fun.
Yeah. Sure, fun. Right.
I mean, it's a word.
It's a
For
word. In a sarcastic sense, sure.
You can't deny it's a word.
No, I can't deny it's a word. That's true.
Run into something that's appears to be more than slightly concerning.
Okay.
But I'm looking. It looks like our steel production has at the outpost that I built. It's basically capped off.
Huh.
We can't produce any more steel because there are no more nearby coal nodes to route into. So...
That sounds like a problem.
Yeah. My thought process is... Since we're not using the coal plants anymore, we're not really using your old base much anymore.
Yeah.
Could we turn your old base into a steel mill?
I don't see why not. I mean, the only thing I do is go there and do a few boxes. There is actually some steel production there, but it would need to be severely upgraded.
Oh, also, if you
Which,
check over
yeah.
at the... If you check over by the storage, you'll notice that Lady and I figured out how to do a thing last week.
Alright. I'll, try not to die on my way back there. Okay. There we go.
Main hub. Storage now.
I found a game that I really wish had multiplayer.
Dyson Sphere program?
That doesn't have multiplayer? Wow.
I don't think so.
Huh.
I don't...
Planet Crafter, but I would've... Yeah, that surprises me. Yeah, I've had a lot of fun with it. You get dropped on this barren planet with nothing but an escape pod, and you have to try and terraform the planet.
Hmm.
It could be a lot better with a group of people because there's parts of the game that without a lot of people in different areas collecting resources, it would just be uh, a lot of sit and wait because you can't multiply your effort very well.
Oh, yeah.
There's times when you need to build 10 rockets and launch them in space to get the terraforming going, but you can't build the 10 rockets because you don't have the capacity individually to go out to all the places and get all the pieces. So it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
I've been letting the game run at night like I do Factorio and things like that. That was my solution.
Yeah, that works.
But it's a lot of fun. But I went from my barren desert to I've got trees now. So I think that's my most exciting thing. Other than I've gotten 100 on YouTube now, subscribers.
Oh, nice. I think that's more than I have.
Mostly shorts, honestly. Shorts are what seem to draw in subscribers. And I'll admit, 70 of those is from a video of a baby deer eating grass.
That'll do it, man.
It just was one of those random things that we happened to see.
Yeah. If you look over here,
Okay.
there's some things that we did.
Where is here?
Past the engineering bay.
Just past engineering bay. I'm going the wrong direction, aren't I? Yes, I am.
Probably. Do you see me on the compass?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're going the wrong way. That's the hub. Yeah. This side.
There you are.
This side.
Okay.
We have.
Oh, you've mastered trains.
It's a nitrogen gas train.
Nice.
Yeah. We found we found the nearest nitrogen gas thing. There's a pure thing that had a ton of little side nodes coming off of it.
Okay.
And we figured out how to get all that working, and then we just needed to figure out a way to get it back over here, and the only way I found that was really seemed the best way was the fluid freight platforms.
Huh.
Which just use regular freight cars.
Hobby.
And then I just and then as I was looking at things, I suddenly realized, you know, we're gonna have to ramp up a ton of manufacturing.
Right.
And manufacturers take tons and tons of power. And until we get nuclear power unlocked, or it is unlocked, but until we can figure out nuclear power, we need more. We just need more power, and the geysers haven't been delivering very reliably.
Uh-oh.
But I figured we would we could just use more fuel plants. We needed more fuel for it because our current fuel outpost is kind of capping out.
Okay.
So I made this setup over here. We can actually get down to almost all the way down to it with this thing. Right here below us is a refinery outpost.
I see it. Okay.
And yeah, it's going to be making fuel and sending the polymer resin into an awesome sink. And the pipe goes around to a train platform over on that far side. And we're basically planning to make a train line that goes around the west side of the map, like all the way along the west side, around the island to the south, down to the cooking oil base, and then just transport like 2 or 3 freight cars of raw crude back over to here.
I mean, That should work.
Because I mean, even though we have that plastic outpost there, and I have the thing cranking out plastic and it's piling up like mad, it hasn't dented the crude oil supply at all. And there's like 5 nodes on it. It's like 2 normals, 2 pures, and an impure. So there's way more than enough crude oil there
All right.
to.
I guess I'll experiment with nuclear power.
Okay.
Seems like a good idea.
Well, I was thinking you could either do that or could help with building the train line around the island. I was planning on making that
Okay.
ladies thing.
I might need a jetpack if you're gonna have me make train lines.
Well, this is going to be going along flat ground over the edge of the water. But you can make a jetpack, like we have the stuff for.
Okay. I'll work my way back.
At the equipment dock.
Okay.
That's what the thing was, not the engineering bay. It's the crafting bench and the equipment dock.
I might be able to follow this pipe up.
Do the hover... Actually, maybe you would know. Do the hover packs work over the train rails?
I don't know. The hover packs are something that were added in a release that I didn't fully experience, so I can't answer that one.
Hmm.
Oh, I can make a jetpack. Okay. I didn't think I had enough resources to do much, but I got enough for a jetpack, so that works. Okay. Xeno Zapper, Xeno Basher. Okay.
You definitely want the basher, the rebar gun.
I at least need the Basher and the jetpack, otherwise I'm not able to get anywhere. So I'll start with that.
Apparently my power setup for the refinery did saved.
What happened with the geothermals? They just not making enough power for everything?
Well, the one geothermal one we have is like the one good one. All the other geysers we found were like impures, which don't produce hardly anything.
They don't produce a lot, that's true.
So I figured, we need something a bit more
Reliable.
robust to want to be running a ton of heavy machinery.
I mean, I think we should still utilize them, but I think most of the pure ones are in the middle of nowhere.
I traveled out into the middle of nowhere chasing several pings, only to find them to be impure once I got there. So,
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. We don't. There is only one pure one that I'm aware of, and it's the one we are currently using.
That's not as good as I'd hoped to. Huh.
There might be more. They are.
Alright. Fair enough.
And we have a solution that will work. So, not too stressed.
Okay.
Just skip the geothermals and go over to the full-scale nuclear.
Home of where spicy food dies. Okay.
What's that now?
There's some point on the map that says home of where spicy food dies.
Feel like that's one that you made?
Yeah, probably, but I don't remember what it is. Okay, so you're wanting me to trail the coastline for this train line. Okay. Alright, well, I'm gonna make a box over here or something to store some things, because train construction is a little different than uh, some other things for resources.
Well, it's steel
Okay.
beams, it's steel pipes, and then you need lots of iron plates and concrete for platforms.
Yep. And I think I need some of those heavy cubes or something for the framework on my train. So. Oh, and I need 5 computers, 10 computers. Uh, I'd say 1 stack of computers would be more than enough. Okay. Motors. Alright. Well, I'll plan out my adventure and then I'll get started.
All right. Well, I have it started over here. I have a train station and two rail platforms already built.
Okay.
Great platform.
I don't think I need plastic
No, shouldn't need plant.
or supercomputers. Let me see here. I need those cables, so I'm not gonna fool with that. Okay. I need a power slug, right?
I have one. Boxes next to equipment.
Okay. Give me a few moments here to empty some things. I don't really need aluminum cladding.
Yeah, that's not necessarily.
Alright.
Right, I've got the train built.
Well, that means less computers. Okay, railway. But yeah, we took out of the stuff we ended up cleaning up. We took 4 or 5 bags of it, just went straight to the garbage. They were just things that should have been thrown away to begin with, and they
Yep.
weren't quite taken care of. But we did find some stuff we were gonna donate to people that need it and things like that, like Goodwill and whatnot. So there's a positive of that, you know.
There was my wife's grandma passed away, or no, she had to put her in a home and had to sell her house. Um, one of the things we were joking about with the family, so much stuff. Like the house had been in the family for 3 or maybe even 4 generations, something
Right.
like that, and it had passed from family member to family member, which meant there was no major clean out in between them.
Huh.
So there was stuff, every time we went to look into a cabinet, it went into an attic space that had stuff that went even further back in history than we thought would have been possible. Like, I kid you not, clothing from the 1920s.
See, I don't mind that scenario so much because you're looking through family history and that's kind of exciting. What bothers me is having to do the same kind of thing when someone's alive and couldn't keep it together enough to take care of it. That irritates me. Like
Yeah,
it's kind of sad in a way and kind of a somber, don't get me wrong, to go through relative stuff when they passed and things like that. But you also kind of get to see a picture of their life and the things they achieved in that life, you know? And
yeah.
that's kind of healing in a way, because you get to look at everything they learned, all the skills in their life, and that's just I don't know, it's calming to me. It doesn't upset me. But when someone's living and they just weren't responsible enough as an adult to clean up their own mess, and as the oldest in the family, it falls on you to take care of it. That,
Yeah,
that
yeah, that is unfair, to say the least.
it's very frustrating. Um, instead of what would normally be done on a Sunday, here I am cleaning up after an adult that is acting like a child.
Yeah.
Uh, they're still family, you still love them, but it doesn't make it any less aggravating.
Yeah, unfortunately. Fortunately, that happens more than I want to.
Yeah, I mean, we're making the best of it. And we're giving people things out of it that need it. People that have the same clothes sizes, or giving to them if we know them, and things like that. It's
Yeah.
just you burn a whole weekend, and then I've spent all of this week just trying to get my strength back, and then I've had to work long hours for my normal stuff too. So it's like, this is fun. Um,
Yeah, nothing takes the wind out of your sails for work faster than having to work after you're
yeah,
working.
and it's not even mentally stimulating. It's just clean up, pack up, clean up, pack up, clean up, pack up.
Yep.
You know. All right, I see the two rails, and I'm gonna work my way around. It's gonna
All
take a
right.
while.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big project.
Okay.
Have your goat simulator music keeping you company, I guess.
I may or may not have hit it somewhere that lady would find slightly irritating.
Ah, she is in the room with us. Hey, lady, you on the Discord yet? Any attention to me?
You know, I don't know. Some kind of joke that I'm still recovering from the tiredness of last weekend to not really fully, put together. There you go.
Good one, man. Good one. You remember those old spam bots that was the reply girls?
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah, I know they're still around, but they're not nearly as prominent as they used to be.
Thankfully.
Thankfully. But there was one of them that I saw. It was like they were talking about like some joke that had been made or something like
Hmm.
that, and but something like they said how it didn't feel like it felt right in the character in like the character development or whatever. And I looked
Hmm.
down the comments of it, and someone's like, "What's she talking about character development in a video reply to a Minecraft mod spotlight?"
Hmm.
I'm just sitting there going, "Yeah, no, I didn't think it was a secret that these things were just bots. These are all just pre-recorded videos being spammed by bots.
Hmm.
Not a secret."
Okay. That's an interesting glitch.
Well, what glitch is that?
I glitched and then jumped like 150 feet up in the air. I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like I've been smacked by a giant.
Oh, yeah, that's, that commonly happens at the autosave points for me.
Huh.
Or when people, when people connect to the server. I will click the button, or I will click something, and frequently I will hop while using a jetpack, and then all of a sudden I just freeze up, and then the next thing I know, it's like I'm riding the pod to space again.
Huh. Lady okay? She sounds a little under the weather today.
Uh, she just hiccuped.
Oh. I thought she was coughing or something, my bad.
No. She's extremely droopy, I know that much. She's told me as much.
Yeah, that happens sometimes, unfortunately.
Tend to find it happens a lot, at least to me.
Hmm?
Said I tend to find it happens a lot, at least to me.
Well, you've been out in the heat enough to...
Well, I think I've been out in the heat enough where I could technically classify as a liquid.
What's that line out of, Fifth Element? Are you human? No, I'm a meat popsicle. Ah.
You die.
Yeah, I died in toxic gas.
Oh. Wait, you're not extending the oil rail.
That's what I thought it was.
Okay, are you working on the two lines that are already laid out?
No, there was two lines that weren't empty, or that were empty, and I kept going with them. The ones you said needed to go to the south.
If you just... Okay. You're just running them underwater. So...
Well, a little bit, you know, not severely, but that was actually the only spot where I went underwater so far. I mean, if you're really close, I wouldn't mind being resurrected, but if you're far away, then I'll walk back.
I'll see if I can find you. The idea was we were gonna take foundations and the rails out around the edge. So that way the train would go nice and flat and we didn't have the C6 circus again.
But the C6 Circus is the best part of trains.
Hi,
It also
lady.
takes a lot longer to lay foundations, so
Well,
I
that's why
figured you wanted today.
That's why I was gonna have two of you working on the project.
You said one of us nuclear power, so you know. I'll walk back. You're good.
I was nearly there.
Um, I don't know. Yes, dag nabbit. Well, that was dumb.
Yep.
Now I gotta hop my way back.
Slowly. Slowly hop your way back.
Yep.
Hey, I found another crashed hard drive. Only needs power to open.
Must be running Windows Vista.
Yep, I agree.
You know what system I was running when we got married?
DOS.
Vista.
She was running Vista, and I purged I purged the religion of the heretic from her computer immediately, and
Per my request.
put Linux on it, and we've never looked back.
I literally asked him on the honeymoon, on our honeymoon.
Yes.
I was like,
Hey, honey, you know what'd be sexy? If you got rid of Windows Vista.
This I can do. If this is
Nothing's
all
better
married
on
life
honeymoon
is
but getting rid of Windows Vista.
if this is all that if this is all that married life is about, I can do this.
uh-huh.
Sure. We'll put that next to the broken furniture that's left over from the honeymoon. Have you ever seen the movie The Quiet Man?
No.
Okay. It's one of the best non-Western movies that John Wayne made. It's about John Wayne as a retired boxer, basically. He retires after he punches somebody so hard they die.
Sounds like a
And-
typical John Wayne affair.
Yeah, that definitely fits the John Wayne category, right? Well, he falls for this, and I mean, I'm a little biased because I may or may not have a thing towards women that have, very nice ginger hair. But this pretty darn attractive ginger woman he falls for, right? And then at one scene in the movie, they get into an argument, and of course, he's a former heavyweight boxer, so he's built like a brick crap house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they get into a disagreement, and he picks her up and sets her on the bed, and he sets her down on the bed so hard the whole bed breaks. And they haven't even finished packing the house up, packing the house in yet. Like the movers are still putting the house in, and then they come back the next day to finish putting the furniture in the house, and they walk in the room and they're like, "Sheesh!" And they see the bed's broken already. And they think it's for other reasons other than disagreements.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good movie, and you get to watch John Wayne and some other guy beat the heck out of each other for a good 20 minutes.
Oh, I think I've seen that highlight reel. Like John Wayne collects some payment, and he collects some payment and then throws the money into the fire. The guy gets
Dowry.
insulted that he burns away that he burned the money, and they just start punching the living tar out of each other.
Yeah, and it goes on for
And
quite a while.
And then at some point you have like a parcel, like there's two there's like an older priest and a younger priest, and they're like, oh no, there's a problem. And he goes, what? He's like, this guy and this guy are fighting. He goes, and the priest goes, oh. It's like, well, shouldn't we go break it up? He goes, it is our duty to break it up, but it's these two guys fighting.
Yeah. And that's the funny thing is that as everybody gets involved in it, it becomes a whole big giant thing with them two fighting.
Yeah.
And it's quite amusing to watch. Back when I used to watch war movies, there was a good war movie John Wayne did too.
My dad said when he was in the Navy, they used to joke that take a set of you take a regiment of Marines, you stick them at the bottom of a hill, give them all blunt butter knives, and say, "All right, boys, for John Wayne, go!" And he mentioned that joke to a Marine, and the Marine looked at him and said, "Yes, but you forget, we will still take the hill."
That's a very Marine answer.
Yes. So, but we would take the hill.
Yeah, that's 100% true. I'm reminded of a description I read from the Japanese side during World War II. The Japanese soldiers were actually afraid of the Marines. So when the Marines got sent in, the Japanese would retreat sometimes over the sound of the Marines. Just the racket they made when they got into an area. Because the Marines were very, what's the way to put this? unreserved in their violence if they needed to be.
Yes.
so, so some Japanese would just surrender when they heard the Marines were coming. They
Yeah.
wouldn't even. They would just surrender then and there when they found out they were fighting against Marines versus regular army.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know where the nickname Devil Dogs came from, right?
No, I don't.
There was a division of Marines that was deployed into Europe, and that was the
Okay.
nickname that the nickname that the Germans gave them was technically the Hounds of Hell, but they changed it to be Devil Dogs.
Hobby.
And that was they you know it was a division of, well, obviously the Germans, they had like their rifles and they had all their SMGs and all of this. The Marines, it was reported the Marines only had shotguns. They just had pump shotguns basically.
Hmm.
But it didn't matter how many times the Nazis would push them back, they kept coming and they kept using different strategies every time.
Reminded of a World War II story that's been passed down in my family from my great grandfather. He watched, unfortunately, an entire. I don't know what the unit was organized. I don't know if it was a company or a battalion or whatever it was. Um, because the Marines really do embody do or die, and sometimes the second happens more than the first.
Mm-hmm.
He was in a battlefield in World War II, and he watched a whole bunch of Marines, and they were in this trench with him, around him. They were, I guess. I don't know all the. It was World War II. He didn't talk a lot about it, just a few things.
Yeah.
And he said Marines are really do or die because he saw them do that. The commander for that whatever quantity of Marines it was, said, "All right, boys, let's go." And then all these Marines all came out of the trenches all at once. Every one of them got mowed down by German machine guns. Not a one of them lived.
Ugh.
Not a single one of them was living after that. It's and that's something people don't like to highlight. Is sometimes do or die isn't always the best strategy.
Yeah.
And I feel horrible that that happened. But horrible things happen in war. When the most positive story that comes out of it is, um,
They died well.
yeah,
Uh,
that's rough.
yeah.
He was actually a paratrooper that was dropped before D-Day, and he got what they call a field promotion. I don't know if you're completely aware of the connotation of that during World War II or not.
Yeah, I mean, well, I had a grandpa who was also a paratrooper.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
In fact, the way that he always told the story is when he jumped out of the plane, he was at the bottom of the totem pole. When he hit the ground, he was the totem pole.
Goodness.
Well,
Nobody else
he
in his company was found dead or alive.
most of my great grandfather's companions were very much dead. So he became an officer pretty much during the first landing because nobody else was alive to lead.
Yep.
That's
That was
pretty
not
rough.
That is as rough as that is to, especially as disgruntled veterans, as hard as that is to visualize, is also not an uncommon thing.
No, casualties were quite severe during World War II.
Hey, by the way, lady, what are you doing?
I'm at what is this dish and chips area or something, and I was just looking at the ground. Wow, that's all I have to say.
The
What
ground.
the heck is with the conveyor belts?
Don't think about it too hard. Your brain can't handle it.
Well, I mean, I was over here, and I'm the one who did the setup of the platform up there. But if you look at the difference between what I did and what's on the ground, yikes! I don't even want to look.
Yeah, don't think about it too hard. Your brain can't take it. I know your brain can't take it because mine can't.
Oh, are you
That's
referring to
just-
the network of
I just
spaghetti?
want to say that that's a little scary. Just how much of a mess it is.
Well, okay. Well, I need to quickly ask you to do something.
What?
I need you to get laying the foundations before Multi does the exact same thing with our oil train.
And where? Okay, well, no matter what, I do kind of have to go back to base, at least somewhat. I'm out of fuel. I have to at least, or go somewhere. I don't know. I don't even know what else I need. I just know, for starters, I need fuel. My inventory is chock full, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to lay lines without getting stuff because I used pretty much all of it during the last time.
Yeah. Well.
I used.
I am slowly making my way back to base. I just got distracted by the nonsense over here.
Only nonsense. I'll have to try harder next time.
Well, please, I
What
beg.
What do you want me to say? That it hurts my brain?
Is relished
Beg
by
of you.
the
I beg of you,
wisest man.
intervene on the
Train line.
on the train line before we get another C6 circus show going.
It might be a little late. I'm already halfway there.
No.
Can it be that bad?
Well, he's made it around the bend. So.
I would have been a lot farther, but I died from my own stupidity and not bothering to craft a gas mask, so... I'm actually pretty quick at laying rails.
That's why
I've had a lot of
just keep all
practice.
those things on me like at all times because otherwise I'm gonna walk into it and not realize I don't have it.
Oh, that's nice. I'm making their way through a barrel nut plant. That looks cool.
Uh-huh. I just have to ask. I've been writing hypertubes for a bit now. Why on earth do you have this horrible habit of putting the tube right through the power lines? That is so annoying. Like,
Honestly.
I can take the roller coaster ups and downs. That's fine.
Honestly, it kind
Power
of
line
started
thing?
as an accident, and then it became a habit. Originally, it was
It-
purely by accident, and then at some point, I actually started walking along the top of the hypertubes and running the power
Well,
lines.
here's the thing. That I don't
So
even know if you realize, but I think going through the power pole slows you down slightly.
It's funny.
It slows you down slightly every time you go through one of those darn poles.
That's hilarious. I'm happy to know that.
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to start going back and tracing the hypertubes and fixing them.
Honestly, I got in the habit of putting the power poles on top because things kept trying to kill me. It wasn't even
Well,
originally
you could
intended that way.
Put it next to.
Well, it was safer to be there than not there, so, you know, I just walked on top.
Mm.
Yeah, because stuff kept attacking him.
Quite a lot sometimes.
Oh, so you're encouraging him now, are you?
No, I was just the one that had to go rescue him like 4 times from Giga Spitters that attacked him.
So you are encouraging him.
No.
Encouraging might be too strong of a word. More like tolerating my horrible construction techniques.
And so as a result, not stopping you.
I mean, tolerance doesn't mean you agree with it. It means you put up with it.
I shall be good.
He's
Uh-huh.
being nice. But yeah, that was kind of my highlight of the week was I went from 90 something over the last few weeks to breaking 100, which I thought was, something. I don't know if it really means much of anything, but it was nice.
Well, it's always nice to see.
So I accomplished something interesting this week. Actually, this weekend. So we've
Okay.
been having, since we updated to 120 on the Minecraft server I have on, we've been having this issue with a mod. I'm not a mod. I keep calling them mods. Plugin called Mythic Mobs. We use it for custom mobs and custom armor and tools. Weapons, sorry, not tools. And well, but since the update, instead of giving extra health like it's supposed to, they've been taking away the health, and then it gives it to you after you take it off. Really annoying.
After you've left the game, you get the health.
No, I mean like you take the armor off and then you get the health.
So it actually is a negative instead of a positive. That's strange.
I know, it's very strange, super strange. Well, he kept thinking, he kind of looked it up, and it seemed like there was a possibility that the config had changed, it seemed like. So he was, or their way you put in information and stuff, like, it seemed like it was a little different. So he was trying to fix things, find what was wrong. It wasn't really fixing, but it wasn't working. And then, plus, it didn't seem like anything was wrong. I looked, couldn't find anything wrong. Well, the other day, I decided that enough is enough. I was gonna take that mod and anything that looked like it went with it, pull it out and run a test server on my computer. So
Okay.
I did so, and so I included that one, Mythic Mobs, and then I also included a plugin called Mythic Libs, because it was called Mythic in the first, so more often than not, it's some kind of companion plugin or a requirement or something. So I figured best bet is to include that as well. You say maybe, but hold on, let me finish. That turned
Okay.
out to be, let's just say my instinct turned out to be more spot on than I realized. So, well, I couldn't find anything wrong with it, but I put just the plugins in without the config files into it, and oh, it actually worked. So then I put both of their config files back in there, the original ones, and broken again. So I started removing things to figure out what was wrong, and it took me a little bit because I was tired when I first did it, and then later I couldn't remember what I did, so I had to redo it. But long story short, I found out it was Mythic Libs that was causing the problem. It was a companion plugin, actually. It was not a requirement, but it was something that went with it. It added a couple extra things or something. Anyway, well, it turns out that the config file in Mythic Lib had actually changed with the new version. And it had changed and things were done a little differently. And on top of that, there was this setting called, it was like health scaling or something like that. And that setting was off in the new version, but in the old config was actually on for some strange reason. I don't know if that's setting or not. It's kind of hard to tell, but I did notice that the new config looked entirely different. A bunch of different, new and different settings, etc. So, needless to say, I tried putting the original files all in, but only deleting that config file worked.
So if you're gonna do a lot of more of that, look for a tool called Beyond Compare. It's really great when you've got a couple specific things you want to do. One of those is version comparisons on software. Okay. Another one is save game modification. So if you've got a game, even if the save game is encrypted, it doesn't matter because you're only interested in what's changed between A and B, right? So you go in the game, you pick up a coin off the ground, you save your game, okay? Then you take the two save games and you do a byte-by-byte comparison. You can see which byte, even if they encrypted it or not, that it's stored in.
What was it called again?
Beyond Compare.
feel like it's
It's
foolish
not-
to ask, but does it work with Linux?
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Well,
not
being a software
free,
like that,
but there are
more-
free ones that do very similar if you poke around. I use the
Yeah.
commercial one because I dual hat with it. I will use
Well-
it for entertainment purposes, but I also use it for comparing 10 million lines of code. So
I will put it aside and look it up later and kind of figure
Okay.
that out. And we'll see if there's a free version. With Linux, there might be an alternative that's similar.
yeah,
Yeah. I will look that up later. Thank you. But yeah, the
It-
owner couldn't quite figure it out, so I went testing and actually I figured it out. So that was great. The owner was extremely happy.
With that tool, I've taken something that would have taken me over 1,000 hours to do, and got it down to about 20 minutes before.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, it handles large files and large source code repositories very well.
Okay, where am I needed exactly and for what purpose?
The new oil train line that we were planning to build.
Uh-huh.
Multi is turning one of the lines into a sea snake circus.
Are you by it? Where am I headed?
I am currently running back to the storage area from that rail.
So I'll go to that corner, basically.
Yeah, head over to this corner. We basically what needs to happen is we need to start the rail, and I want to try and get at least the return rail on foundations. We can then take the other rail onto the foundations at some point and reroute the train.
I'll admit, I am proud of my current railway achievement I've done for this. It is amazing.
Did I hear that some of it goes underwater?
Yes, you will see it when you come over here.
So Gary's gonna kill me for this, but
It might be more than some of it. I think it's more like 60 to 75% of it's underwater.
so Gary may kill me for this, but the underwater thing sounds kind of cool.
How dare
I
you
just
corrupt
kinda hit
my
a s-
wife?
Hey, I don't only get the video game corruption. You get to have all the fun corruption together you want in non-video games. So there you go. I don't know. Although if it's in a loving marriage, it's not technically corruption. Just throwing it out there.
Oh, it's this line, isn't it? Why does it go under the other one though?
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
I don't know what spot to put it.
Really? You couldn't just keep it separate? You had to go under?
That was actually just the only spot that clicked, so I ran with it.
Uh-huh.
That actually was like an oops. Well, I'm gonna run with it now.
Uh-huh. It goes glitch and it clips through.
All right. Do I need a fluid fight platform? I'm thinking.
Yes, fluid platforms.
Okay.
Well, deep. I don't know if I can leave this one.
What?
It goes through the platform.
Did you find the part where it goes through a giant rock yet?
I'm still stuck at this spot. You couldn't put it on this platform from the start?
What platform?
Yeah, I figured. Of course you would.
Oh, I know what I'm naming this train station.
Is this messed up one a current running line right now or not?
The messed up
It
one
will
is the one that he is running. The one that is straight is the one that I'm running.
I mean, is there a current running cycling train on it?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I'm heading back. I'll work on getting that train on that line for you.
I've got a train already set up.
Okay. Well, I'm already routing the return path, so.
I'm routing the return path already too.
I guess I'll meet you somewhere between a cliff and an ocean.
Uh, my beautiful train line.
Oh, I may actually have to fix that one. I think I ordered that one too far under. Nope, I'm okay. I've done something new. I'll leave it to you to figure out.
Oh no.
Aw, darn it. I slowed myself down by a minute and a half. No. I ran out of rocket fuel in the wrong spot.
Well, you get to rescue yourself this
Gecko,
time.
Gecko, is that you on the train?
Yes.
Stop a second. Hold on, I need to grab these. Do you have... Hold on. There's too many things on me. Do you have some steel beams? Extra steel beams?
We'll get more,
Okay.
but I have those.
Alright, I'm about a third of the way back. Oh, yeah, I'll meet you there towards that end of it once, you know, once I get there.
An underwater oil train. I think it's the first time that sentence has ever been uttered.
Video scuba gear for the win. I'll be right back.
Alright. Alright.
I don't know.
Did you intend to leave this concrete here?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, I'll leave it.
I took too much with me.
Yeah, I heard that thing that you did in the storage area there, Multi, and I'll just have you know I can't be bothered to deal with it. Guessing his kids are fighting over SpongeBob again.
Something like that.
Lack of a response.
Something like that. I'm half in, half out at the moment. Alright, I think I'm back.
So, I watched the pilot episode for an amazing sci-fi show yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Firefly.
Oh! Yeah, that's a good series.
I gotta say, I really like the captain.
It's a good series. The problem is just that it only got the one season and then it ended. Kind of reminds me of there was a series called V that they made, which was one of the few series that I've seen that kind of realistically what would have happened if aliens came to our planet, because a lot of the series are like all the aliens come in peace and everything like that, and there's no threat to us. And I mean, and when you think about it, the reality is if you travel so many bazillion miles and it takes so much fuel and resources to get there, you're probably not going to travel all the way to Earth so you can deliver bonbons.
I think it would be something more like, the Rick and Morty, when the episode in Rick and Morty when the dinosaurs come back to Earth. Like, who gave the monkeys guns?
I don't know if I've seen that episode. I haven't seen the newest ones.
It's just a highlight episode or a highlight thing I saw. And they were just like, wait, what's going on here? Who gave the monkeys guns?
I think my favorite episode has got to be Lawnmower Dog, though. Knowing me, I've probably told you about it before.
Probably have.
Basically, the plot line is Rick gets tired of hearing one of the other characters complain about the dog making a mess in the house. So he puts a hat on the dog that makes it smart enough to go to the bathroom and flush the toilet by itself. So you actually hear this random dog run off. They don't like. You just hear the dog run off in the other room and flush the toilet and use the bathroom. And then at some point, one of the other characters in the show, which is one of the less intelligent characters,
I'm guessing Jerry?
Yep, Jerry. Jerry goes in there and says, okay, oh, huh, there's only 2 batteries in this. That's strange. And then puts 2 more batteries in the hat. And then the dog proceeds to take over the planet. Because Rick intentionally only put 2 batteries in the helmet so the dog wouldn't become super sentient and take over the planet. He only put 2 batteries in so the dog was smart to go to the bathroom on its own.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that sounds like a Rick and Morty plot. I'll tell you, there was one episode that I saw part of it, I heard more of it, and it was the hardest thing to keep track of just listening. But it's the one where Rick gets picked up by the Interdimensional Council of Ricks.
Yeah. I think there's 2 or 3 episodes of that one, but I could be wrong.
Well, this is the particular one where, like, you have the... They're after Rick because a bunch of other Ricks have been turning up missing.
Yeah.
From other dimensions. And, they suspect Rick of it. But I just...
Well, that Rick, but yeah.
Yeah, they suspect that Rick of it. And, but just like the one thing I remember was, Summer was saying, okay, look, I don't know what it was. I'm not here to plead for Rick. I don't know what it was that he did. He probably deserves exactly what you're going to do to him, and so I'm not here to plead for him, but please unfreeze my dad. He doesn't have any clue as to what's going on here. and like the potentate, like one of them looks at like the potentate one, and he goes, "Is this true?" And the guy goes, "He's Jerry. Get real." And the guy goes, "Okay, fine," and unfreezes him.
Oh man. Yeah, I really got into it until towards the end of the second season. And I don't mind if something is disagreeable to me to some extent if it serves a plot device or a plot relevance in a series.
Yeah.
But eh, there was a thing with him and Jesus, and he puts Jesus in some kind of subdimension or something, and I don't know. It just didn't. It didn't really add much to the plot. It didn't really make much of a story. It just kind of came across as pointless god bashing,
Yeah.
and that kind of I don't know. Would I still watch the next season? Sure, but I'm not nearly as motivated to watch it at that point. There's 100 other things that I'll watch first.
I mean, you know, the on the point of like god bashing, like in Firefly, you have that character, Shepherd Book, and there's that conversation between him and Mal, and I was just like, oh, you know, I was listening to it, and you know, what was it? Uh, Shepherd Book tells him, he goes, you know, God may have plans for you yet. And Mal says, well, listen, Shepherd, you are welcome on my ship, God is not. And then just walks away, and then it just makes Shepherd laugh.
Yeah, and that's plot.
And then,
That's not just like a whole
yeah,
like
it's,
most an episode of like god bashing for no apparent reason.
yeah. Well, and then
And that the
even in
whole
the
episode
next,
was that way. It was just
even in
like
the next episode, there's a train heist
mhm.
that doesn't exactly go as planned.
Right.
And you know, and they're sitting there, and he's sitting there saying, you know, like, what in the world am I supposed to do here? You know, I don't know what to do at this point. And he mentions it to one of the other characters, and she goes, well, you can always pray that the captain comes back safely. He was like, yeah, I don't know how much he's gonna like that. He goes, well, then do what I do and just don't tell him.
You've built your conveyor in a way I can't reach it. I'm trying to work with you here, but the area you built that over is deep,
Where are
so
you
I
at?
can't
I can't
get
see.
to it.
Can't see you on the shoreline. Oh. Okay, way out there. Okay.
Yeah, your conveyor is too far out there. I can't actually use it. I was trying to be nice and use it, but there's no way I can use it. So
Hang on. Let me. Okay, do you see that big mushroom thing sticking out of the water there?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut the foundation there.
All right, I might be able to work with that. I was trying to be nice.
I don't want to hit the water here.
All right. I don't know if that'll work, but we'll try it.
I'm trying to get it to go as straight as I can, but I don't know why the foundations aren't rotating at a good angle.
I just put extra platforms to fill in the gaps. Overlapping a little.
Okay, can you get to this? Can you get to these out here?
I'm working on it. Give me a minute.
On. You guys need help over there?
We got it.
I just need a few minutes.
We got it.
Because I'm not far, actually.
Assuming the game builds this right.
Okay, can you come to where I'm at right here?
I'm working on it. I got a platform up. There we go.
You did see that I have a platform, like, right left of it, right?
It was too steep. I can't go down that
it's too
far all at
steep.
once. Yeah. That's why I did what I did. Alright. Now I should be able to straighten it out. Okay. Alright.
Holy. You know, you could have, you know, skipped this S curve of going straight, connecting this straight from here to there, and then just putting the platforms where it's needed.
Honey, you're talking reason. That doesn't belong anywhere near his video games.
I'm noticing this.
He whenever he plays a god game, he's the only benevolent god that occasionally sets his subjects on fire for having the audacity of worshipping him at the temple during the wrong day.
You are purposefully making this an S curve. All the way
Hey,
down.
Just
He's
because I sacrifice
purposefully
a
making
child
the
now
line
and then.
wavy. I'm watching them. He's doing it on purpose.
Yes, yes, he is.
Just
Thank you for
because I
noticing.
sacrifice a child now and then in black and white.
Excuse me. I was over there.
The line didn't look right. I was actually trying to fix it. It didn't look connected. It's like, just because I
it. I thought you were
sacrifice a
trying to
child
mess it
now and
up.
then in black and white to get a mana boost doesn't mean I won't be nice to my villagers all the rest of the time.
Uh-huh.
That was actually the best way to get mana in the game, which was kind of disturbing. You pick up one of your children, then sacrifice them. You got like a 5 or 6 times mana boost compared to whatever else, and whatever other god was coming in on you to attack you. You'd always have a few kids around in case. Because when they come in on you really hard and heavy, you couldn't necessarily defend very well. Alright, I guess I'll go check the line.
Alright, well, if you run down this line a little ways, there's a train already on.
Yeah, and this seam doesn't look right. Let me fix that seam. Honestly, I S-curve them because tracks actually tend to S-curve, whether you want them to or not.
Well, an unintentional one is fine, but I saw you.
I will do that because tracks will... They naturally try to curve to some extent, even if you tell them not to.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
why I
so
was
you
building
like
them
to
on
cater-
foundations.
Yeah, so you like to cater to it.
I cater it versus fight it. I will S-curve all the way up and down a straight line because the tracks will naturally curve unless you force them to be straight. Which I'm actually impressed with how straight this track is. I didn't know you could even make them that straight.
Can I ride? Can I ride?
Sure, I got
That's
2
what I'm-
freight cards.
Trying to get over there myself.
Oh, I am above you. Actually, I'm on top.
Yes, you are on top of the train.
Mhm.
I see how it is. Leave the guy
I'm
behind
braking.
that made most of the train track.
I saw that.
I'm braking.
I tried to get on and he completely missed it. He's on.
Alright. Freight's loaded, let's go.
Okay. I'm not trying to be threatening. I just only have a bit Xenobasher and a jetpack, so.
It's fine.
Yeah, you gave all of her equipment to her. You gave all your equipment to her, if you remember.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright. Here comes the scrape-off challenge. And the people on the train keep from getting scraped off on all the natural terrain that we have been inevitably run through.
Okay, that was a
Somebody's-
mistake.
Yep.
Somebody decided to bail out.
Whack me or something.
Goodbye. Well,
Yeah,
we
and then
have
in my
lost all
own-
passengers.
Nope, I'm still on.
Oh, you're still on, okay.
Yeah,
Hold
yeah.
on,
I thought it would be
barely.
funny.
Just barely. And
And it-
luckily for me, I started on the engine, so when I fell off, it was
More
measured.
stuff.
Oh, no, I'm off now. What the? Multi! You have to go through the coral reef over here?
Yes, he has to go through everything. We've been through this.
You haven't found my good one yet. I'm kind of sad I'm missing it.
Ride it as a passenger if you haven't go through things.
Oh, yeah, the maggot. What? He runs straight through a rock.
Multi.
Not
And a
just any
mushroom
rock.
plant. And another rock. Another rock. Oh no, we went around that rock.
You haven't found my favorite rock yet, have you?
We're zigzagging over another set of rail lines.
Multi had a bit too much fun of the thing. Thinking over here.
I don't think he's found my favorite rock yet because I think it'll be a new statement when he says it. I'm excited. I just
Now
wish I could
traveling
see the...
through the sand dunes.
Oh,
As in through them, not over them. I'm now going underwater.
Oh, here it comes! Here it comes!
We are straight up underwater, straight through a cliff.
The third cliff underwater was my personal favorite of this rail line.
To a train station that is currently too small.
Actually backwards because I
Well,
thought
it's
the train was
backwards.
coming down the other line, so we need to flip it.
It's also too small.
Oh.
It needs 2 freight
Okay.
platforms.
Well, when I get done swimming back there as my punishment for trying to smack Lady with a Xenobasher, then I'll work on it.
Yeah, you tried to hit smack me, and then it ended up falling off the train.
Yes,
That
which
was
is quite
hilarious.
funny.
Was.
This was one of my favorite rail lines I've done. Not my most favorite thing on this server. The scenic route tube to the remote, whatever it was at the base, it was trucks. That was my favorite thing I built. And it wasn't because it was like the hardest to navigate. It was just a really nice view the entire way.
It's not because you messed it up the whole way?
I did do one part that was a little funny for amusement, but most of it was actually pretty straight shot.
What? You do straight shot?
No.
No.
I think with one look at this railway track, I'm pretty sure it's offensive to his DNA to attempt it.
Offensive to my DNA. I like that.
Why is this saying it's invalid placement? Is limestone in the way here?
Are you on the train back or something, lady? Or
I am walking on the train line because I fell off next to somebody.
that wasn't me. I wasn't on the train anymore. You can't blame me.
I don't even know where I'm headed. What? The more underwater part I see, I'm just... And a certain husband of mine did not stop to let me back on, so I'm just stuck following the train line.
Oh no. See, I'm a third wheel. I'm expected to be walking the entire track.
Well, if I hadn't scraped her off at the trees, she would have drowned. So I look at it as a unfortunate happenstance of mercy.
A worthwhile investment.
So it's merciful to let me slow walk back to this other base because I have to swim half the time.
Well,
No.
you would
You're
drown
supposed to let you take
otherwise,
over
so.
driving of the train. That's what you're supposed to do, right? Go down with the ship.
I mean, that'd be... Yeah, sure, if the train had stayed. But somebody kept driving the train.
I think you can actually add multiple driver cars on the train.
I think you can, yeah.
I mean, if we were gonna do a... Oh, that crisscross looks really cool from this angle. I'm glad I did that.
I'm not.
Ah! Well, you almost got some karma right there. Almost died.
Oh, I didn't realize you were this close. Oh wait, no, this
Me?
is a lady. Okay, I thought you were
That could have
multi.
been twice as funny if you smacked her thinking it was me.
I did not even see her there.
Hi, honey. Why
Alright.
is this train station so close to a rock?
Because this is the original location, as designed by
Y'all
our
can adjust what
maniacal
you need to
planner.
adjust, but you know, I mean, it technically doesn't
Um,
matter unless you're trying to ride the train.
Just realized there's a
Really?
problem.
What's that?
I put one of these fluid freight platforms down backwards.
Alright, I'll be back in a few moments. I gotta go
Fix
help with a
this.
few things. But
Okay.
I finished the train line like y'all asked. I did make a train line. I did it quickly, so y'all had it.
Technically, yes.
I mean, it's a freight line. Cannot
It's
deny.
not a passenger line, but it is a freight line.
I think if this was real life, Multi would be fired from his job.
I would be
I'm-
fired from a cannon into the sun.
Yes. Yes.
And banned from joining, from getting this kind of job ever again. They would share it with all their friends.
I'll be back in a few.
While he's gone, I just want to comment that that spot where the platform, that the train went through a platform and then up and joined up with the rest, I actually fixed that part. He just hasn't found it yet, but I fixed it.
Good.
That's the one part I did fix. I made it go up. You probably saw me. I made it go up and over.
Yeah, I saw part of that.
Yeah, that was me doing it. It rejoins up with the original line a little ways back. But yeah, I did. I completely redid that section.
I'm willing to put another locomotive on here if you want to ride in the train.
That would be fine, honestly. Looks like you can. I just don't have the parts, but it looks like you can.
Yeah, I can.
Well,
I think I can. Yeah.
I actually pulled it up because I was curious. Go ahead. Looks like it couples nicely too. Cool. Neat.
First load of oil. Load up some.
Hey. Question.
Uh-huh.
Do you think it's possible that you could put 2 locomotives on a train and use a single train line going back and forth by simply have the engine go the other way? Face the
Very
other way?
likely. Yeah, that is very likely.
That would simplify things. We should try it.
Alright, are you ready? Our subaquatic adventure begins.
That part is, although weird, is kind of neat going underwater.
Well, he said it's about 75% of the way.
It's just the nauseating curves he put in is a little not so nice.
Yeah. We go all the way through all the fauna and flora.
He really goes all out on the nonsensical part.
Yes, he does.
It is a little funny. Even if it is nauseating.
Through a rock. Or mushroom.
I
Through a
admit, I
cliff.
like having the. I really like it. But. I can't. Not with that one. Through the rock. I just. No.
Into the sand.
Why?
Underground here. Now up. Through the cliff.
Oh, golly. Yeah, let's glitch your way back, why don't we? feel like this is gonna make me physically nauseous.
I know, right?
Yes. I like being able to ride though. This is nice.
Yeah. Driving is a bit technical. I have to hold a button.
Oh, so technical.
My gosh, what? I cannot watch the screen with all these turns.
I know. I think we're about to meet up with the part that I fixed. Yep.
It's like it. I need to go... I recovered the hard drive from that wreck. I need to go back to the...
See how it suddenly just straightens out and everything right here? Just... beautiful, nice little curve here.
mean the part that I built?
Actually, I did this part of this part, because I was fixing things. I did some of that, redid some of that, so yeah.
There we go. Hang on, I gotta ban it. No spam bots.
That's cool. So what are you doing at this point? Are you gonna be driving it back and forth or what?
Gonna drive it one more time and then make sure, and when it's done, I'm gonna set up the auto train route.
Okay.
I have to travel it one end to the other a couple of times, just make sure it's all in one piece.
Yeah.
You wanna ride with me one more time?
Sure.
Get to see the whole train ride this time. I don't know if we actually have a faster top speed now that we have two engines, too.
I haven't tried going, I'm just riding, but you want me to try?
Well, I don't know if the other trains go up to 150 kilometers an hour.
I don't know.
Try hitting W, just see what it does.
I am.
Okay, so it
I don't
doesn't
think
do
it's doing
anything.
anything.
Doesn't do.
Nope.
Wibble, wobble, wibble, wobble.
Oh, golly. I already had enough of that.
Round we go. Around the bend, over the boxes. Mushroom.
Reminds me of the song "Over the River and Through the Woods to Grandmother's House We Go."
Under the ocean, through the cliff.
Yep.
A little bit of a paint job scratch there. Little one.
Mm-hmm. And what do you call the other rocks that you clipped through? And the mushroom?
I have no words left. Said them earlier. Nothing else useful to add anymore.
I mean,
Sadly.
it's functional.
It is functional. Thus far, it has functioned its whole way.
It gets the product from A to B, so...
True.
And at least he didn't make it do a ridiculous detour, rather than just going basically straight there. Just made the track wonky.
Yeah, now we go underwater again. This is the first time I did it.
I mean, does he not believe in bridges? Is what I want to know.
I'm gonna guess no. Gonna guess they're against his great-grandparents' religion or something.
Mm. Hey, you want to try something?
But
I want to see how well it works having me drive from the back if you let go.
right, I've let go.
I guess this part is already gonna be slow. I'm just curious. Is it is it gonna stay going this slow though?
I don't know if the locomotive at the back does much.
I have no idea. I'm still holding W. Go ahead. At this point, go ahead. This hill, I don't think it's gonna make it otherwise.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was expecting actually. I was just curious.
Yeah.
Alright, what did I miss? Sorry.
Well, I have added a an extra locomotive to the car, so I'm dragging Lady with me on the track tests,
Oh, okay.
and it looks like it's good.
I try to build a decent track, even if it is a little interesting in design.
Yep, through the rock. We went straight through a rock there on the top of a cliff. We've done some underwater visiting.
I thought the underwater part actually might be kind of cool.
Well, we can certainly
Not realistic, but you know.
certainly take it out for a spin.
Alright. Then I guess I'll get some power lines and see if I can get a little more geothermal, or I can help with nuclear. I don't know.
Go ahead and start working on nuclear.
Alright. I got a spot picked. Then I'll go there and start on it.
So are you in need of a project, Lady? I guess you are.
Hold on, I'm looking at something.
Hey, look, we're on the part of the track that looks nice.
I deny any credit for this part of the track.
I would hope so.
Although I have to admit, the giant clams and barnacles on this are pretty cool. Even if the track does technically go through them. Yeah.
Hey, Multi.
Mhm.
When a player gets kicked due to keep alive timeout, isn't that usually just because they have a slow internet, or is there possibly other reasons?
It can be slow internet. That's the most common. It can also be network latency or bad packets. Some mod packs can cause a lot of bad packets.
Well, this is not a mod pack, though. As far as I know, well, I don't even know if he has mods on. I can ask.
Well, even the original game was riddled with that kind of issue. That's kind of why I swapped over to Mine Test, is because mods are automatically synchronized. That's a key feature. So I can code it, and then everybody has it, and that's the end of it, you know?
All right, lady, are you ready to get out, or have you been kicked?
What? I'm still in the train.
Okay. I'm about to activate self-driving, so...
Okay, I'm out.
Mm.
Alright, farewell, train. Best of luck on your travels.
Well, I didn't figure it would me to take too long doing it, so I just kind of rushed through it, to be honest with you. I did kind of go underwater because I thought it would look cool, though. I won't lie.
Well, I mean, I can't deny that it looked cool.
Okay.
Now, I just need to see if, is the fuel making. Fuel is making. Good. So, lady, would you like a project?
Well done. Possibly. Players telling me that they're trying to get on the server and says it's automatically booting them after about 10 seconds, is what he's saying. I mean, as far as I know, we haven't added any extra settings for timeout. As far as the timeout goes, should be same as usual. Yeah, he's not running mods.
Oh, I don't know then. Could be a version issue of Java. Could be a version issue of Minecraft then.
I could have him install another instance of Minecraft. Even on the vanilla Minecraft one nowadays, you can do a different. You can do a new profile or something. It would not change the Minecraft, I don't think, but it would hopefully install new .jar, I think.
Huh. I thought I renamed that station. Apparently it still says Mexico City.
Well, I had to take it down, remember?
Oh, right. I'll rename it again.
It was pointed the wrong way.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I thought I was going the opposite to what I was doing. My bad.
Well, I initially thought it would be going that way, but then when I laid out the stations and freight platforms, I was like, you know what, it's going the opposite way.
Okay.
But I never... It changed directions while it was just me looking at it.
No worries. I have to say the time building train tracks and the time out in the woods without people bothering, and well, actually it's even more like the time out in the woods without technology has been kind of soothing. Although I kind of have to bring something around so it can be used for the videos or whatever, but I thought about sometimes just not bringing the phone at all, but then I don't know. What do you think?
I mean... I think it would be a nice, peaceful thing, but I do happen to know that wives and mothers like to be able to contact their husbands, regardless of whether they're on the moon or at the bottom of the sea.
Yeah. Yeah.
To let them know, you know, the dog needs to be watered when you get back home. Because they decided to go off to the 6-year-old's ballet classes. They forgot about the dog. You know, last time they checked, the dog hadn't caught fire. But, you know, a little bit of water in his dish will make sure it doesn't happen. Good.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah, that is a thing.
This comes from a man who had a young wife. Got very upset that she couldn't contact him at work. Because he worked in a secured area. You couldn't have cell phones.
Yeah. Yeah, that might be an interesting perspective to deal with. I find the phrase if it's a real emergency, call 911 kind of works in that situation, but you still sleep on the couch.
Yep. I was a little bit confused as to what I was seeing down here because I have a vertical conveyor, a conveyor lift goes all the way up to the top floor. Like, what is that even going up to? Then I remembered, oh yeah, that's probably the gas mask filters. Pretty sure we have a full storage container of.
Nice.
So
I may have to grab a few of those then. That's kind of how I died doing this.
yeah, well, it's one of those things where I'm not entirely concerned about, you know, not having it because not really any need for it right now.
Oh,
No.
I'll use it plenty.
Well, I mean,
Thanks.
we'll be using masks, but we have like an entire container of them.
Oh, the
yeah.
masks or the filters?
Filters.
Okay.
A big old container full of the filters.
Do we have any of the masks sitting around?
I don't think so. Masks. Cracked by.
Alright. Is that the radiation filters or the toxic gas filters?
Not sure. I think it's just the toxic gas filter.
Alright.
Because the iodine infused ones I crafted by hand. So. Then lady gave me some more.
I might need a few of those if I'm going to be working on nuclear power. It just seems like a smart thing to have. Alright, let's see here. What do I call this train station? Um, sure, I'll go with that. Alright. It's kind of odd, but on survival games that I keep playing, that seems to be one of my favorite genres. It kind of seems like a milestone for development is when the game gets along far enough that people build giant houses, and they have to add elevators to the game to keep it going.
Yeah. So that's something of a hallmark achievement there.
That's an odd bug.
What bug
Yeah,
is
that's a really odd bug. I made one box, and somehow the game shows two, and when I pick one item out of the other, it picks up from both boxes.
that? That is an odd bug.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Nope, I'm just dumb. Alright. I can live with that. I made $2. Sorry about Satan the Hound.
Not fussed about that yet.
I find Inclad aluminum sheet. Is that in the stockpile already?
Yes.
Okay.
Have
Awesome.
out aluminum.
Thanks.
So we were gonna see a different thing yesterday. We were gonna see that movie Meg 2 The Trench. But it was like by the time we were looking at things, the showing times were like within minutes of the time we first started looking things up, and we hadn't had lunch yet. Or the other option was like 10:30 at night.
One of those is not conducive for kids' bedtimes, but I think you already know that.
Yeah. Well, that's why we went home and watched Firefly instead.
Um, you know, it is a newer movie, so I'm gonna bet Firefly's probably better anyways.
Well, we were looking for a dumb fun movie, and it was promising.
Alright.
Because it's basically Pacific Rim meets Jaws.
That's a combo.
From the plot summaries, and from what I've seen in the trailers, it basically looks like Pacific Rim meets Jaws. So
I have to say one of my favorite movies that's come up a little while, was just kind of a random movie off the top of my head, was probably Battleship.
I've heard so many things about that film.
Probably both good and bad. There's some things in the movie that aren't remotely realistic, but there's some things in the movie that are pretty awesome.
Well, initially, everyone said it wasn't a very good movie, and then the next thing I saw anything on it was a guy talking about how a ship cannot just randomly drop anchor in deep ocean, do a handbrake turn.
It would probably tear the ship in half.
Well, not only that, but the fact is that the anchor doesn't actually do anything to the ship. The whole idea is you drop the anchor in mud, and the mud collects on the chain, and that's what holds the ship in place. Even then, not entirely effectively if the ship is actually powered.
Are in open water.
And if you're out on open water, good luck hitting the ocean floor. It reminded me of a thing that my dad said when he was on the aircraft carriers. At one point, they were doing an evacuation drill. And they said, you know, report to your evacuation stations. Nearest land is 5 miles away. Straight down. Was the announcement.
Yeah, that would make the anchor not very useful.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I missed the train, but then I also remembered that I missed getting a mask and iodine. So guess that kind of worked out. Hmm.
You know, I'm hearing that radio, and I'm just wondering, what were they eating that made them think this counted as music?
Goat food. I'm gonna bet.
I would feel sorry for whatever goats that food was intended for. Unless if goats are eating that food, that might be why they think they can digest everything. Just go to eat everything.
Be surprised. Goats will chew on a lot of things, but not necessarily digest them. Goats will 100% spend a whole day chewing on a tin can, and then fight you when you try to take the tin can away from it because it's not nutritious for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so more than one player is actually having issues with the timeout. Do you think restarting the server would help anything, or not?
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yep.
Okay, then I'm gonna do that.
Attention all players, I am going to derp the server.
Actually, I'm gonna listen.
I got tired of typing that, so I wrote a /shutdown back when I ran one, and it said you have like 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and after that, the server's gonna shut down.
That was a thing that Geo would write. When he would start doing like active development while players were on.
You know, maybe, I don't know.
A...
Geo did a little bit of stuff when I did back then, so maybe Geo did write that. I don't know.
No, I remember seeing that. And, it was because, what was her name? Black Fox.
Yeah.
Black Fox got mad at him one day because he was trying to do some database development, reloaded the plugin, but forgot to, include the main database, included his test database instead. So everybody lost permission to do everything. I was in the middle of harvesting crops, and I was trying to turn a lever off, and it kept telling me you do not have permission to do this. And I was like, what just happened? He was like, oops, give me a minute. And then she gets in chat, and she says, like, what has happened? What is going on? Why? And he's like, sorry, I forgot to link the database back in. Well, if you're gonna do that, just say, like, you know, just warn us or something. I was just having a nice evening, and then all of a sudden the game quits working. Then after that, he would always just say, attention all players, I am now going to derp the server.
Which one has these gas masks in it?
Oh, they're not... The gas masks don't go into the main storage. They go over into just a container outside the manufacturer.
Where's that at?
Up on the 4th floor, same level as the storage, over by the drone port.
By the drone port, okay.
I think it's by the drone port.
See, AI limiters. Manufacturers. I'm going the wrong direction. Yeah, that explains why I can't find it. I went the wrong way. Alright. Filters. Nice. Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
I would carry my 10 rebar around with me, but I don't ever bother to make a rebar gun, so seems kind of pointless.
Yeah, I can see that.
What the? So one of the players was on long enough to be able to run a command and stuff, and then it kicked them.
Hmm.
This is after restart, by the way.
Okay.
I just restarted. Might be an issue with the latest paper version.
That could be.
Yeah.
That's why I don't code anything for Minecraft unless I have to.
Like that GTA RP server I follow. They called the car tornado.
Okay.
Car tornadoes.
Yeah, the randomly cars would just start spinning around like on a horizontal axis.
Huh.
They would just spin in these big sweeping circles. And typically they didn't do it if a player was in them, but sometimes they would. And it was always one of those like RP scenarios where the the less experienced people are just sitting there going, how am I supposed to explain what happens to me when my car inevitably explodes and the ambulance drivers come to get me?
Alright, I need rubber and fabric. Okay. Plastic. Where's rubber? Okay. Fabric. Sorry, trying to finish making my equipment. If I'm gonna go working on nuclear, I gotta have enough filters and everything else I need, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I get these fuel generators set up to coal that I took.
I'm just listening to the goat music in the background. Do 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 do.
I still find it surprising to me that this game and Goat Sim are made by the same.
Yeah, I mean, maybe think of Goat Simulator as a developer's playground to learn.
Yeah. Or just mess around with stuff.
I mean, that's something that's been done, but I think that was the first time I'd seen somebody ever try to sell it.
Yeah, I know.
Be successful on that note.
Oh, it sold gangbusters, and anybody that said that it was a buggy broken game about playing as a derpy looking goat, boy did they get just backlashed all up and down.
Yeah, tell them that's the whole point.
It's like, well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's the point. If I take 3 steps as this weird looking goat and I fall through the world, that's a bug. Intended or not, it's a bug.
Is this a bug or a feature? Yes.
Yeah. Well, that seemed to be the developer's attitude towards it, so.
Hey, I gave them the money to make this, which is an awesome game. So
They also it also gave them the money to publish Deep Rock Galactic.
I didn't know they made that.
They didn't make it, but they published it.
Oh,
Coffee Stain Publishing.
huh. I'll be.
Yep.
Did y'all die a bunch near the fish and chip space?
No, why?
There's a lot of crates on the map over there.
It might have been. It might be like random bits of resources that were just left lying around,
Oh, okay.
deconstructing and re. Missing computers, heavy modular, not making their fuel generator. You know, I gotta be real. For the train line that we did to run the oil, take a lot longer than it actually does to run.
I tried to make it quick because we've got, 100,000 parts to make,
Yeah, yeah.
and that doesn't include all the sub parts.
Ooh.
All right, I figured out where I'm gonna build the power plant. Found a good spot. I'm working my way there now. I'm just waiting for the train.
Cool. So what is it that we have to get rid of? You're saying? I remember you mentioning at one point for the nuclear plants.
It makes radioactive waste.
Oh,
So you want to build it so you can make a secondary train that takes it over to like the edge of the map, and then you just destroy the box and live off the edge of the world. But I think they made it so you couldn't destroy boxes to prevent that. So I don't know. Maybe we can dump it in the sink.
I was gonna say, what about dumping it into an awesome sink?
I don't know.
That seems like it. We could either run it through a packager, or if it takes it regular, just dump it into one of those, and then just forget that it exists.
I'll try it. We're waiting on the train.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. That's what I'm doing with my new fuel base. I have it making fuel and polymer resin. It's just dumping the polymer resin into the an awesome sink.
Right.
Not much else to do with it. Right, I researched that hard driver.
Hmm.
Multi, can you tell me if this is a better recipe for supercomputers?
Okay.
3 radio control units and 3 cooling systems.
I'm not sure.
I'm gonna take this anyway because it's an alternate supercomputer recipe as opposed to it's a supercomputer recipe that can be made in assemblers. As
Okay.
opposed to the other 2 recipes which require manufacturers and blenders.
Well, you can make a heatsink unit and a assembler, which I think is part of what you need to make the cooling units.
Yeah. Well, the cooling units are made in the blender. It's water, the nitrogen gas, 2 rubber, and then 2 heat sinks.
Okay.
Then we have radio control units, which are, of course, computers, the oscillators, and aluminum casings. Yeah, I'm just going to take that one. Then one other thing I'm going to do, I'm going to launch the pod.
I was wondering why nobody launched the pod yet.
I was waiting for everybody to be on, and then got tied up trying to rescue my dream train line. The hands of a rogue maniac.
A new project part enables progress to the next phase.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we'll get the power plant together today or not, but I'll get it built and start the infrastructure. The fuel rods are going to be the hard thing to build. They're a
Yeah,
multi-phase process.
remember a guy showing me like everything that was needed to make fuel rods, and it was like a paper diagram. And I'm gonna be real, had no clue what I was looking at.
Well, I'll start on it. The train's taking me to the best place to start building, so I'm working on that now. So. Yeah. I've actually been really enjoying the time outdoors. I just wish I had more time to do that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can understand the desire to have more time to do something.
I do.
You might think I'm crazy, but I've been thinking about making clay gears.
I don't know how well those would hold together.
I think if you fired them like a brick, they would hold up fairly well, but I guess it would depend on what you mixed in the clay for the material.
What are you talking about?
Clay gears.
Made a little clay oven thing he plans to use to make fired clay goods. Things.
I think for a gear it would be too brittle.
I think I'd have to mix something else with it for that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean it's a possibility, but I feel like it would. I still feel like it would be too brittle due to the fact that two gears have to interlock and move. That means that each individual notch in the gear will have to be strong enough to withstand some pressure and not break.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how you could do that.
I don't know. I think I'm gonna experiment with it though, because I'm just kind of curious to see what it could do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense. Lady, are you ready for your project?
Okay, hold on. Oh, wrong person. sending them a message. Hold on. Yeah, as far as I can tell, currently it's 2 players. I have no idea. It could be with the paper. We just updated the paper like yesterday, so it's a good possibility that had something to do with it. We may not be able to do anything until we get the next paper update. I'm not really sure.
It's a long, hard climb from power floor up to
And-
storage.
And we are currently running the latest version of it.
It's a
So-
shame there's not an elevator, but I mean, a jetpack kind of replaces the awesomeness, though. So
It would replace it if it was enough fuel to get me up there.
you're out of fuel.
Oh, but one fuel can's not enough for me to get up there.
That's true.
I have to keep making stop-offs.
That
Okay,
is one
sorry.
thing that Stationeers
here.
does have is elevators. That's kind of nice.
Sorry, I wanted to at least try, at least for a minute, to see if I could figure something out. So restarting didn't help. I have no idea. I've messaged the owner. If he can figure something out. I have a big suspicion that has something to do with paper, though. Because it was working before. We didn't have this problem before. We updated paper yesterday. Now it is. The only thing that's different is we removed one plugin that was an add-on to another. That's the only thing different, other than updating paper itself. So, yeah, it's probably paper. Anyway,
We have a crisis situation. We currently have no computers in storage.
I think we're using them all to make supercomputers at the main base.
yeah, I think it disabled it going to storage temporarily, because it was trying to boost the supercomputers for the phase.
Okay.
I believe that is what's going on. Funny enough, I'm looking in this manufacturer's making supercomputers. The only hiccup right in the moment is the high-speed connectors. Let's look at let's look at those. What is that missing? Quick wire. It's low on quick wire. Why is it low on quick wire? Do we need to boost quick wire? Guess I'm going to that area. I guess I'm gonna go to the Caterium and boost that a bit. I had space to boost it, but I didn't want to add too many when we didn't need it. That was ages ago.
Okay.
Guess I'm gonna go boost Caterium.
All right. Let you do that. I'm suddenly crashing.
You're tired of the game's crashing.
I am tired.
Oh, I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I need to go back again. Back to storage. I just realized that I mostly just have concrete and a couple other things on me. I need to get some materials before I go over there. Ugh. Okay.
All right. I park here, listen to music. Probably as I can. I need to get up and walk around. I'm literally falling asleep.
I've got all the liquids we need for the power plant set up. So now I'm gonna work on making the fuel rods.
Sounds good.
Okay, I miscalculated. It needs 2 water pumps, so I'm fixing that.
Is he holding the radio, or is it just over here somewhere?
It's no fun if I answer that question.
Oh, you're so funny. I'm guessing that means it's over here somewhere. Found it. Ah, peace and quiet. Taking that now. Thank you. It didn't take me long to find it this time. Did not hide it very well.
I wasn't all that motivated. I just kind of wanted to do something with it, but I don't know.
Oh, this is the wrong one, but okay.
Hi, power plant stinger. Alright. I climbed all the way to the top of the nuclear power plant, waited to heal, and then jumped down and started xenobashing the heck out of it. And surprisingly, it actually worked. 250 meters of uranium is not bad for a nuclear power plant site.
Yeah. What'd you say?
250 meters is not a bad distance to a power plant.
No.
From a uranium mine, I mean. My bad.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm back.
Okay. I've got enough water going to the power plant, and I've started setting up the fuel construction, but it's not going to be a 5-minute process.
What? I thought you had it down. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, about that. No. I got it figured out, but it's not a 5-minute process.
Electromagnetic control rods.
Yeah,
Require
that's
stators and AI limiters.
exactly why it's not a 5-minute process.
Oof. It's not even a 10-minute process.
That's some honesty right there. I recommend everybody starts keeping more iodine filters around since we're working with nuclear power, so just throwing that out there.
Right.
Oh, that's what I was doing. I needed that. Alright. Okay.
Alright, I've got a bunch of fuel generators now up and going. Replacing all of our old coal generators. So this should keep everything in the system running nicely for some while. Yeah, we've got about 1,000. I think it's safe to say we have around 1,000 megawatts overhead, so that'll be manufactured. Okay, 1,000. A little less than 20, I think. Start doing some advanced, more intensive production scaling certain things. First of which, gonna need to be a steel mill. Do you have a project, lady?
I already mentioned what my project is.
Okay.
So yes.
I'm going to erect a new steel mill. Multi's old house. We barely use it for anything, and that's why I got rid of all the coal generator. Redirect this coal to steel mill. Had to see if we had iron around.
I don't know if this is a bug or something I don't know how to do correctly, but I can't seem to get my anti-radiation filters to work.
Uh,
Are you wearing the suit and the gas mask?
Oh, there's the
I'm
problem.
guessing. I'm guessing not.
I have the gas mask. That should be enough, right?
against the gas, yes.
Against radiation. Oh,
Hmm.
like you'll keep your lungs safe while burning you alive. Well,
I mean, your lungs are more important, right?
um, they are important. But what's the point in being alive? If your skin is burnt to a crisp.
Glowing in the dark. Oh. Would probably help run the power around in the right direction. Okay. Well, I knew I was going to make a few trips to get all this set up anyway, so that's okay. Didn't figure this was going to be a 5-minute process. Though in hindsight, a little better planning probably should have been in order.
I look at this iron setup at your old base, and I try not to cringe too hard to death. Pure iron node, and this is the monstrosity you make around.
It's my gift to you.
Uh-huh. Okay. I have how I plan to make the foundry setup. Just need to know. Well, not really know. I just figure out how I planned get the steel over to the main everything. Get so quiet when we start getting focused.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. Although in
Over here.
hindsight, I really wish I made a rebar gun.
Well, I know I mentioned that you would need one, so that one's not on me.
Sure, it is. Not really. Well, I just tested a theory, and it turned out to be true.
In a good way or a bad one?
Little of both. I just took out a hatcher nest with a Xenobasher.
Oh, I've been doing that forever.
I guess I'd forgot that was a thing.
Well, congratulations. You know it's a thing now.
Yeah, I kind of just tried it out of desperation.
Yeah, the only things you really need anything bigger than the Xenobasher for is when you get to, like, the giant spiders and you get to the giant, spitters.
Or things that shoots rockets at you, perhaps.
Yeah, there's the rocket hogs, too. Love the old autosave lag right as I jump in the air.
Did you know they bring Futurama back again?
I've seen some trailers on it.
It's definitely better than when Comedy Central took over so far.
That's good.
Yeah, that was kind of a serious downslope because when Comedy Central took over, they wanted to make it all about politics like The Simpsons. I mean, there were still some really good
I mean,
episodes that were mixed in there, but it wasn't as...
Futurama had that from time to time, but it was mostly about making fun of, like, politicians of the past. You know, the fact that Richard Nixon, like, gets himself reelected, like, 4 different times because he just swaps out which jar his head's sitting in.
Yes.
You know, that sort of stuff.
It wasn't current, and Comedy Central tried to make it current. And that, just didn't.
And that's gonna fly about as well as any other lead kite.
That's theoretically possible, but not easy. Just throwing that out there. A lead kite.
I
But,
mean,
you know, there's a lot better ways to make something fly than to make it out of lead, but, you know.
true. That's kind of the point. You want a kite to fly, don't make it out of one of the heaviest and most dense substances on the planet.
I mean, if you really wanted to be obstinate, you could try and make it out of uranium that's heavier than lead. But it might have multiple problems if you did that.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I didn't figure this was going to be a 5-minute process.
So how much stuff are you having to drag in from everywhere?
To make the encased uranium cells, I found a copper mine I'm dragging in. I'm probably just gonna take some of the higher parts. I'm probably just gonna import them from other bases. I'm not gonna make a whole factory to make AI limiters, I don't think.
You need those
But
for encased uranium cells?
you need them to make the fuel rods.
Oh.
So that's... I'm gonna kind of mix and match, I think, is gonna be what I'll do. Whatever works out the most effectively to get power up as soon as I can. It's probably what I'm gonna go with.
May not finish that this stream.
I know. It'll likely take me at least one more stream. If not 2. But at some point, I'll get things organized enough that I could have help.
Okay.
That's...
Yeah, I was gonna say, I probably have someone who I can assign you to help. Hey lady, what are you working on? But seriously though, what you working on?
Hold on a second.
So far, the new episodes of Futurama have been pretty good. I've been generally impressed with them. The first episode I watched, the owls were back in it, and that's a key plot element. You gotta have the owls.
Aren't they
And
just
they were
like,
doing the right things, too.
aren't the owls just basically considered like rats?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's just making sure.
Yes, 100%. But it wouldn't be Futurama without the owls. And they just kind of disappeared for a couple seasons. You didn't really see nothing of them. You know, and then the movies, they had the owl inspectors, you know, but that's a whole nother joke by itself.
Yeah.
But, the first episode I watched, in the opening sequence, or very close to it, the owls were there, and I was like, alright, now we're getting somewhere. This is a good sign. I mean, it may not solve everything, but it's a good start.
A clip that's come up on YouTube a million times is Fry yelling backwards into the microphone, "Dear New Yorkers, stop being so stupid." And then the bird lands on the other side of it, squawks into the microphone, and nearly blows his ears off.
I love his little march he does too, because he's out there and he's like, "What do we want? Fry's dog. When do we want it? Fry's dog." Like the actual people out there trying to help protest with him, or trying to like make an actual protest, and Fry's just like repeating the same thing. Yeah. Speedy conveyor problems.
Oh, yeah. Can't sprint against the ones above Mark 3. Can't sprint against Mark 3s. Definitely can't sprint against anything else.
Yeah, I was. Whoop! That's a monster.
Like my Darkest Dungeon playthrough. Uh-oh, that's a boss fight. This is a boss fight. Just making my way through a tunnel, trying to get my beleaguered, crippled, aching group of adventurers back to the door of the dungeon so that we can get out. And all of a sudden I get assailed by a thing known as, only called, the Thing from the Stars. It had 350 health. I'm like, there's only one thing that has this much health. Bosses.
I'm really happy about this glitch right now.
What glitch is that?
I've got 4 beasts trying to kill me, and they can't get up the edge of the track.
Oh, nice.
Well, it looks like the high-speed connectors, it's making enough now. It looks like it's keeping up now with the wire, and the high-speed connectors are continuously making now. So now that's now that that's caught up. Only issue is computers.
All right. Like we're...
Which we know.
Yep.
Now I'm gonna go look at computers and make sure they're running properly.
I think we do have some supercomputers coming from the secondary base to help, but I don't know how many off the top of my head.
We do have them.
It looks like circuit boards are hiccuping a little bit over here.
This is taking a while, but it's taking half the time I thought it would. So.
Yes. Good news?
I think it is good news. How much sulfuric acid are you making?
I don't know if I'm making any.
Are you making batteries?
Yes, over at the bauxite base.
Okay. That's where I can steal that from then. Okay, thanks.
Okay, yeah. Making enough to make batteries, I never went any further than...
That's fine. I'll just steal it from there. That'll work perfect.
Alright, fair enough. Works for me.
You know there's only 2 refineries over here making plastic? Is that all we can handle?
Well, the other 2 refineries were constantly being rotated around to other things, but we have, another plastic base. Making...
Okay, but what's it is it connected to everything?
Yes, it is. There was a train that was... out.
Is it still connected to that?
That I can't...
Yeah, I'm gonna
If it
check.
was, I didn't intentionally change it, I can tell you that much.
Where is it connected to everything over here? Oh, where's it supposed to be connected?
Are you over at the main fuel base, or the oil base?
Hold on. I'm at plastic and gas drop-off.
Okay. That's the place where the plastic is supposed to... There's a train that goes from there out to the plastic outpost. Whether or not the outpost needs to be upgraded. Question.
Well, there was... I don't know if it's still bringing it over, but I will say the train station is currently empty of plastic. I will say that.
Yeah.
Now it could be waiting on a shipment. I don't know.
Well, the train appears to be coming back.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
train-
say I'm gonna say and wait for it and just make sure.
Now, the firehouse train is coming back.
Yeah, looks like it's almost here. Well, I'm gonna make sure it actually drops off plastic since I'm here anyway.
So there's actually a way to use uranium waste, it looks like.
It has literally just 239 in it.
Alright, I will take this train out to the plastic outpost and investigate.
Yeah, because it only has 1 second 200 and then 39 extra, and that's it.
Alright, I will
That is not very much.
take this train out the outpost, see what is bottlenecking everything.
I mean, I can investigate if you want.
Well, I have some things I need to chew on anyway, mentally. I'm working on a project, but I need to figure out how I'm going to get a bunch of steel over a very awkwardly placed.
Well, so much for that idea. Bye.
Stop it? Do you want me to stop it?
I mean, I was going to help investigate
Okay, I'm stopping it.
that, or I'm just jetpacking the whole way. I don't know where you are. Oh, you said stopping me, or not stopped.
They made a
Looking down.
use for uranium waste now.
Backing it up.
It goes in the particle accelerator.
Okay.
Oh, you know, pick up! I'm right here! I'm right here! Where are you going? Okay, that was unnecessary. I was already there.
May not want to stand up there. You may get scraped off.
Well, here's the thing. If I start at the front of the train, I'll only be scooted back to the next car.
Ha! Guess what? We can't finish this phase without nuclear reactors. We have to build a particle accelerator to finish this phase. Which we can't build without nuclear waste. So, I guess this is the right direction, huh?
Okay then. Yeah, Huh. Well, the milestone that I have selected gives us the particle accelerator.
Okay. And we take the nuclear radioactive waste and we pump it into the particle accelerator to make nuclear pasta, which is the one thing we need 1,000 of. That's the last component.
That for the space elevator one, or for the milestone below it?
That's for the phase 4.
Okay. Because the tier 8 milestone is the one giving us the particle accelerator.
Right. Okay.
The belt is full. It's
Yeah.
going in kind of slowly.
Oh,
though.
it's okay. It's because it's a very low grade belt.
Okay. I have that stuff. I have stuff on me for that.
Looks like it's tier 1s.
Yep.
Turning off the self-driving.
Alright,
tier
well,
ones.
I'm gonna catch the next train back to get some more resources. But things have gone pretty good.
Not anymore. They aren't.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were. They definitely.
No, I know that. I'm over here upgrading.
I figured it would take like 4 streams to build this reactor, and things are ahead of schedule so far is my answer.
That's nice. And convenient.
Yeah, they're pretty full actually. It's just the plastic was too slowly being extracted, essentially.
This area wasn't so hard to get to. We could pull crude oil from here, too. I think. Anything I might add some more refineries doing the... But...
Honestly, this is doing pretty good actually. It was just not loading fast enough.
Yeah.
Honestly, if this isn't enough, you can always split it into 2 belts come in this direction. I'm loading 2 belts at the same time into the transition. The same thing. There's 2 slots, so.
Why does it appear that the plastic is going backward?
It's an illusion.
It's an illusion? It is, yeah.
It's an illusion. When it's going so fast, it becomes kind of an illusion. And if you look at it enough and just think of it as going the right way, eventually you start to see it again going the right way. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, it is weird. It is a illusion, all right. Okay, so you did Mark 5s for the main lines going down to the station.
Yep.
All right. Well,
I did. Because I had the stuff on me. I grabbed some earlier. Some of the ones by the machines are the one right Mark IVs because I ran out of the Mark V materials.
Yeah. Notice there are some that are 3s, but that's still. Alright, I'm just gonna let the plastic fill up before I move the train.
Yeah, I'm kind of half a mind to set up a second belt line, loading it so there's two at the same going at the same time.
Yeah, might as, I'm just gonna say it might as well. Go ahead and get this sort of second line out here. Start setting up the raised bits. Platform, elevated platform.
Oh,
Down the
hi.
other side. Okay. I hate to say it, but we might have to call this pretty soon because the lag is starting to get pretty unmanageable.
You're good. Whenever y'all need to, that's fine. I'm just on the train
There we go.
riding back to get more materials for the next phase of construction, so.
We've got a lot of plastic moving onto this train now, which is very needed.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it was bringing so little earlier.
I thought it was fine because the plastic was... We were overloaded in plastic for so long.
I seem to recall that I was over here when set that up, and we ran out of materials essentially. So you threw down the belt once for now, and you said it would be fine at the time.
Well, that wasn't me that did that.
I thought it was you.
No, Multi's the one that set the train up.
No, we did some. No, I mean the belts, not the train itself. We did some of this. We did help with some of the belt stuff. I remember coming over here.
Okay, well, maybe you helped.
Anyway.
I'm just gonna keep waiting. I'm gonna let this sit for a bit, let this train platform fill up. We're about halfway there. Gonna just take a full load of plastic back to the main base.
Yeah, that explains why we weren't getting much plastic from this end.
Yeah, it really does.
I mean, I went over there and even the machines were pretty full too.
Okay, so I'm probably gonna make the magnetic control rods somewhere else and bring them in. And the same with the steel beams. That'll make the process a lot smoother if I don't rebuild those entire processes. So that's not too bad. Then I'll need one manufacturer and one blender, and that's it. Because I'll import everything else. That won't be too bad.
Okay. It honestly sounds pretty reasonable.
Still have to make the rods somewhere. I'll have to set up a factory, probably next to another factory that already has those parts to do that. The encased steel beams are going to be easy. We just find some place to load those up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we might be able to get nuclear power running next week. If everything goes to plan.
Crossed. Got about 2 more lines of stacks left. I can turn the train back on and we'll haul this puppy back.
Sounds good. I'm getting tired.
By the way, Gecko, did you know that if you're using one of these hover packs, you can interact with machines from much farther away?
I did not know that.
Here, since we're sitting here waiting
That's
anyway.
cool.
Oh, wrong one. Here, put it on and then go up and hover. It highlights all the nearby machines. When you're pointing at it. I mean, you have to be at least near enough, but
I know. I'm working. I'm working on it. Uh-oh. Why did this thing?
power pole.
Oh, but I'm close to him.
Yeah.
Guess I wasn't close enough.
Yeah. Here. Whoops, that one's full. Hold on.
Oh.
Power.
One of the features I did really like in
Oh.
Worldcrafter is that the world actually changes as you play it.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
as you get grass going, you'll actually see grass growing in the world.
Here, I'll put it up in that. There. There's an extra power pole for you. That should do it. Put down some extra.
I do seem to be able to interact with the power poles and stuff from away.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if it was just me, but it seemed like you could interact with them farther, like from higher up and stuff.
Yeah. Here, take it back.
Hold on. Down here. Can you make up your mind where you're going?
Going to you.
And I was trying to move towards you a little bit. You get moving.
Alright. It's close enough to fall now. Load up.
Well, like for example, okay, if I'm up here on this train, I cannot interact with the plastic crate storage container right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the freight station, not the one next to me. But if I put the jetpack on,
May not
like
let
the
you
jetpack
interact
on.
with it because the animations.
No, I mean I tried this earlier. I mean I did this earlier while it was just loading it into the container. Well, like, okay, so here, I can interact with it if I'm hovering right now, but if, so, but if I go up, then I can interact with it from here. But if I go back to the ground, I can't anymore.
Hmm.
I'm not close enough.
Right, well.
I don't know, maybe it's just me, it could just be me, but it certainly feels like you can move interact with it from a little farther. No idea if that's true or not, but...
Okay, well this has confirmed my suspicions that more locomotives does increase the speed.
What do you mean?
Well, because this train is currently only going at 115 kilometers,
Uh-huh.
whereas the oil train was doing 155.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does help. It does use more power though, I think, too.
By a little bit. It was, you know, this one's using 25 megawatts, that one was using like 30 something. It does use some power, but not a lot.
They use more when they're accelerating. They'll use like 110.
Yeah, they'll use a lot when they're
they're
accelerating
powered
or if they're having to climb hills.
Yeah, that's about it.
But even then, with the double locomotives, hills aren't that big of a deal because you get they'll pull a little more power, but you get over them faster. I overshot.
I think I'm gonna make me a lead suit.
Now for the flood of blue. Away it goes.
Cool. That should help a little bit.
All right.
Do we have silica at the main base? In the storage boxes?
I don't know if we have silica. I know we have quartz. What about
Quartz.
silica?
I mean, I can make what I need with quartz. So that's fine. Alright.
Also, we have several quartz mines just feeding awesome sinks.
Yeah. That's crystal quartz, not raw quartz.
Oh. Right. Plastic is getting split off like crazy everywhere, but it's all still working. Or circuit board printers printing circuit boards. Nice and happily. When I get back, I'm gonna finish building that steel refinery. Might even do that during the week if I think to hop on. What do you think another project for you would be? Let's see. Well, I'm guessing next week you're gonna finish with the, try to finish figuring out the try and finish figuring out the nuclear power multi.
What's going on?
I said next week you plan to wrapping up. I'm guessing
Yep.
next week you're planning to focus on finishing up the nuclear power.
Yeah, I mean, there's a sub factory that needs made if somebody wanted to do that. We need somebody to make electromagnetic control rods. All the parts are at the main base. We just need them together.
Okay.
I'm gathering up a few pieces of equipment and things, but mainly I'm making a hazmat suit.
Gonna make that lady's objective next week.
Okay.
Make
Well, I would certainly appreciate any help.
make electromagnetic control rods. Does that sound good, lady?
What was that?
Start producing electromagnetic control rods.
Next time, you mean?
Yes, next time.
Oh, yes.
Right. All got our jobs. We've all got our projects. Guess we'll
Let's
see you
see.
all on the next one.
Well, it's just standards and AI limiters.
Yep.
And I'll focus on getting everything moved and transported to build the pieces we need. And then I think the next thing I'll probably have to do is help you all with the milestone, or just, I don't know, figure out something from there, because we can't do the next phase of power plants until after we get particle enrichment. So
Yeah. So that would be the thing we'd need to focus on next, is probably making like cooling units.
I want to see what the particle accelerator looks like in this game.
it looks like a bunch of giant circles from a picture, but I'm not sure beyond that.
Yeah.
No, it's a circle. You don't say.
I mean, it could have been squares. They were in Minecraft.
No, wrong. Can't be squares. Won't work.
I mean, they were squares in Minecraft.
I will tell you that there was a mod that added a particle accelerator into Minecraft, and it was a circle.
That's
There was
that's
an
not
earlier-
allowed. You can't have circles in Minecraft.
There was an
Yeah,
earlier
well,
mod.
Mods shouldn't add it.
There was an earlier mod that had one, and it was a square.
I do not know what you're talking about.
The Volts mod pack.
Okay, that's a strange ad. Oh, YouTube. That explains it. Alright.
What?
Well, I just ran a background noise on my end, and I was like, what is that? I'm like, oh, it's a YouTube ad. Okay. Well, I gotta get going. I got some other things I need to work today, but it's getting about that time anyway, so.
Yep. Alright. Well, thanks for coming out to play. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
It was
Live
fun.
long and prosper, Multi.
It's a square. What?
I got you this time.
Right.
Alright, well, take care, y'all. Bye.
Alright, see ya. Bye.
Bye. That is the lamest thing ever. Why? It doesn't work that way. It's so not realistic.
Uh,
That literally doesn't work.
ladies and gentlemen, one of those rare times when I was right.
And Fulton is. I can't process this nonsense. Why? That doesn't work. Not really.
Okay. It is time to be done.
Folds. So why? That's what I want to know.
Alright, goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.